How to receive what others reject. I'm Lara Waldman, also known as the Wealth Accelerator, and let's deep dive into the process of receiving. When it comes to manifestation mastery, learning how to receive is key. And yet receiving, as nice as it sounds, to receive all the things that you desire, all the things that you require, is actually harder than it seems. Receiving, your ability to receive, often lies in a big blind spot. And there are most often blocks and barriers to receiving living inside of you in your unconscious. And that will manifest in an experience of not enough or lack or separation between where you are and what it is that you want and desire. Manifestation mastery is all about learning how to receive and welcome in the very thing that you want. Ideally, this is guided by your heart, your soul, your body, your deepest desires, so that you are in alignment with what it is that you truly desire. And part of that process will be releasing blocks and barriers to manifesting, releasing everywhere you're consciously or unconsciously creating separation between yourself and what you desire. And one of the key essential pieces to that is learning how to receive. Now, in this world, it is normal and common to reject others, to judge, to criticize, which creates separation. It creates an experience of othering, of creating separation. And this is actually a block to manifesting. When you create separation between yourself and anything, you're actually creating separation between yourself and your innate ability or capacity to manifest. Now, this is a high-level concept. This concept may challenge your mind and challenge your logical level of thinking, but when it comes to your soul, to your higher self, to universal wisdom, we are coming from the point of view that we are interconnected with all of life. And in fact, on a level, there is no separation. And yet, of course, on our human experience, we are experiencing a lot of separation. And this is also how you know yourself, how you know who you are and what you want, is through the experience of polarity, through difference. And it's part of our human experience, and that is absolutely fine. But when it comes to manifesting what it is that you want, we need to work with this consciously and mindfully. Now, when I was starting this work of manifestation, and particularly when it came to money and business, I came up against a mountain of blocks and barriers between myself and what I was being guided to create. So my soul, my higher self, guided me into the game of wealth creation and business. I had zero interest in money and I had zero interest in business, but I was being guided by my soul, my higher self, into the money game, into the game of business. And I had a huge amount of resistance. What I found was not just a huge amount of resistance, but a lot of judgment, a lot of separation. I had rejected, or at least tried to reject, the world of money and business. I didn't like it. I didn't want anything to do with it. I had created separation between myself and money, myself and business, and therefore I couldn't integrate with it. I was also really crippled by the fear of judgment from other people. So there is a lot of noise when it comes to money and business, particularly in the conscious spiritual communities, with lots of people that I surrounded myself with. The majority of people judged wealthy people, judged business, judged money to be wrong or bad. And when I was being guided to work with money and work with business consciously and mindfully and start playing that game, I was crippled with fear. What are other people going to think about me? What are other people going to say? And what I saw is that what I was being guided to step into, other people were rejecting. So one of the powerful processes I learned was to learn how to receive the things that were aligned, were guided, or things that I desired, even if other people rejected them. Other people saw them as wrong or bad. And this has taken me on a really, really powerful deep dive into the world of receiving. So that was my first step into receiving. Would I be willing to receive what other people are rejecting? And all the fears that came up about what people would think about me, or how people would judge and criticize me if I was wealthy financially, or if I was successful in business. So these were some of my initial blocks and barriers to manifesting that I had to overcome. But as I went even deeper into this work, what I found in terms of alchemizing our blocks to manifestation is something very, very powerful. And this is something that I call radical receiving for revolutionary riches. Because what I found is when you reject something outside of yourself, a person, a situation, a thing, there is a mirroring going on within, where there is a personal rejection. So what I have found is when someone is rejecting something outside of themselves, they're actually rejecting a part of themselves, because we are interconnected with all of life. We don't like to think we are, but we are. So the deeper diving work around transforming or alchemizing blocks to manifestation is learning how to receive all of life outside of you, but most importantly, starting within the inner aspects that you have rejected. Now, the challenge of this is they're going to be in your beautiful blind spots. The inner parts that you have rejected will often be in the unconscious or buried in the shadows of shame and pain. And that discomfort of connecting to and feeling parts of yourself that you have rejected can sometimes be so unbearable, people can't go anywhere near it. So when there is a pain that we can't feel that lives within, or an aspect of the self that we have rejected, feeling that's too unbearable, so we project out. We project out onto other situations. We create separation, we judge, we criticize. And this creates a self-protection where you don't have to then feel the depth of pain or shame that lives inside of you. So when I'm working with manifestation mastery, when I'm working with leaders who are stepping into the next level of leadership in their business and their finances and their life, we do a process of radical receiving for revolutionary riches, going and finding those places within that you have rejected in order to receive what it is that you truly desire. Because the fascinating thing, those parts of yourself that you have rejected cannot receive what you want. They push away. That part of you that you have rejected has created barriers between yourself and aspects of life. It's extraordinary. It is such powerful and fascinating work to go and understand what's going on in your inner world that's creating results in your outer world. So what I have found is whatever level we're talking about, anything that your friends or family or the society you were raised in, the culture that you were raised in might judge to be bad or wrong, if we can go in and do that inner work of radical receiving for revolutionary riches, going to receive those parts that we've been told are bad and wrong and shameful and unlovable, it is a game changer. Because what I have found is the things that we reject in life, be it people, be it situations, be it experiences, are separated from love. They're separated from presence. They're separated from consciousness. And when you go and receive those parts that you may judge to be bad or wrong or shameful, terrible, when those parts are received through the power of your presence, through unconditional acceptance, it starts to alchemize. It starts to change. It starts to merge with life. It starts to merge with consciousness. It starts to come back into life and become a life-giving energy rather than a life-taking energy. It is absolutely beautiful and very, very surprising, because what we like to do in our culture is shame, judge, banish, exclude, thinking that that kind of punishment is going to be the key to change. And unfortunately, it just doesn't work. It buries those hurtful, harmful aspects just deeper and deeper and deeper. And this is what creates all sorts of problems for you in your life, where there's self-sabotage or self-destruction or patterns of behavior that you don't want to be doing, right? It is all to do with a part of the self that you have rejected, that you haven't received, because we can't really reject anything. That is the truth. You can try, but it won't work. Trust me, I've learned all of this the hard way, through banishing, through shaming, through rejecting parts of myself, or even trying to banish, shame, and reject other situations. It just doesn't create the change that I want when I do that. And it may feel good, or it may give you this false sense of power, but it actually doesn't create change. And I stand for transformation, for healing, for integrated change, for systemic change. That's what I'm all about. And so I spend a lot of time really interrogating a lot of these issues, challenges, problems, all the blocks and barriers to you receiving what you want, to try and understand what is going on. And learning to receive everything, all parts of life, the good and the bad, the light and the shadow, the beautiful and the ugly, is an essential key to manifestation mastery. And what I found is when you learn to really receive, breathe in all the things that you've been rejecting externally, but most importantly, internally, suddenly that thing that seems so bad and wrong starts to shift and change and become something beautiful. Because inside everything that's dark is also something that's light, is love, is life force. There is life force energy inside of everything, because everything that's here is a part of life. So this is pure alchemy. This is manifestation mastery. This is a whole other level of consciously creating with life. And it is what I have found is one of the essential keys to becoming a manifestation master, is learning to receive all of life and be willing to receive what other people reject, starting with yourself, first and foremost, and most importantly. So this is a deep one that might be challenging for your brain. It might be challenging for some of those logical aspects of yourself. But what I would love you to play with, and I love to use the word play, let's explore, let's uncover and discover anything that you are not manifesting, anything that you are struggling to create. I want you to go in and ask where you are unconsciously rejecting an aspect of yourself. So in that external want or desire, that thing that you're wanting to manifest, that you're wanting to create, that you're wanting to experience, we need to find what is going on inside of you, where you're unconsciously rejecting or creating separation between yourself and the very thing that you want. You're going to find something rich and deep and beautiful in there. And we want to go in and what I call rewire to receive, to go and learn how to receive those parts of yourself. Now, this is deep, this is rich. And what I found is this level of receiving needs support and facilitation. It is challenging to do this on your own sometimes because it's in a blind spot, because it's in the unconscious. And luckily, this is my area of expertise, and this is what I hold space for. And I would love to invite you to join me for an upcoming masterclass that I'm going to be hosting live. This is activate your power to manifest what you desire. And we are going to be having a deep dive into all the areas where you create separation between yourself and your power, the blocks to manifesting what you want, and how to turn that around. So showing up, being together live in this masterclass will be a next step for you to alchemize these blocks to receiving, and helping you to rewire to receive. And I'm very excited to announce that from there, I'm going to be introducing a new 12-week program that I'm offering, Manifestation Mastery, and I'm going to be taking you through my step-by-step process, and we're going to be using that 12 weeks to manifest what you want, fast action acceleration. It's going to be really powerful, really beautiful, and I'm very excited because this is the first time in many years that I've offered a shorter program. The programs that I offer are my Living Abundance Mastermind, my Living Abundance Leaders Program, which are 12-month containers, because I'm all about integration. I'm all about embodiment. I'm all about you actually manifesting what it is that you want. And I found that that needs time, that needs space, that needs facilitation to really integrate this work because it's so deep and so rich and profound. And yet it's also possible to manifest quickly with the right support, the right container, the right tools. And this is going to be coming up for you. So your next step is to book your place on my upcoming masterclass. You're going to be learning some really powerful tools and techniques to step into manifestation mastery and activate your innate power to manifest, to create. And from there, I'll be introducing you to my 12-week container, Manifestation Mastery, where I'll be taking you through all of this really powerful information to actually get manifesting. So click that link now, book your free place, and I look forward to being with you live for a deep dive very, very soon. And before we go, I would love you to take a minute to think about, what is your number one takeaway from our conversation today? What is landing for you? And I'd love you to share it in the comments below. What is the number one thing that's really jumping out in today's conversation? And please let me know. I would love to hear. This is a deep, rich conversation around receiving, and I'd love you to support you with the integration of this incredible information. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and I look forward to being with you again next time.